Back at the Richmond Coliseum with the Pontiac International Team Championships, the United States, after the first of 6 rotations, with the big lead over Romania and 2 points over China. What about this? Is this bad news for Blaine Wilson here, Tim, or just usual maintenance?
No, that's usual maintenance here. He's actually having his good shoulder, the one that was not operated on, massaged right there. It's just normal wear and tear at a high level of gymnastics.
Lu Jia from Jinsha in China. They are on the floor exercise at this point of the competition.
Lu Jia was actually here at this competition last year. Shortly after he returned to Beijing, he underwent knee surgery, so he hasn't had a lot of preparation time for this competition.
Very nice opening tumbling run. Give him 5/10 of bonus, and more traditional gymnastics, double laid out somersault.
That was a save.
A lot of bonus tense in that flare and circling sequence. I just personally think that that is a bad decision. He doesn't need to do such a difficult strength and hold part as he did right there, and frankly, there were deductions.
Sometimes it looks like they do some skills that are just a little bit too difficult for them. We have to remember that the team we're seeing here is actually their second string team. The Chinese have their national championships coming up in May, and they say that they've saved their best and kept them at home for that reason.
And some of their best are also injured, Elton, so that completes the Chinese picture as of the moment. He seems happy with his performance on the floor exercise. The Chinese, down by more than 2 points, have a lot of coming back to do. Now back to Robert Ene of the Romanian team.
Robert is actually here at this competition to compete only on 2 apparatus. That would be the pommel horse and vault. He's a specialist on those 2 events.
Romania characteristically been very strong on the pommel horse. Not the best looking circle, a little bit piked, but very, very tough athletes.
Yeah, and they're here for a good reason, to gain some valuable experience. They make no bones about it. They've come with a very inexperienced team.
That, of course, when you hit your legs like that, it stops your circle. 5/10 of a point when you fall off the apparatus. Very long routine. You just see his legs hit that pommel. And at that point, he is so fatigued that he's not able to struggle through. It's too bad, because this was going to be a very high-scoring routine. Not now.
Well, earlier it was the Chinese who had the door blown wide open by their low scores, and now the Romanians have a problem. Lu Jia's score is a 9.425, so a much better start here than they had on the still rings. Robert Ene's score on the pommel horse, 9.05. So like you said, Tim, low. Now a very strong start for Chris Young. We'll see if he can keep it up for the United States. On the pommel horse, he recorded a 9.55 and a graceful 9.5 at that.
Yeah, we will not see anything near that level. Not to be negative, Chris is a fantastic gymnast, but the upper body strength that is required with the new set of rules, so dramatic, and just doesn't really have that type of power. But this is really neat what's going to come up.
For example, his start value here is a 9.3, so if he does everything perfect, that's the highest score he could get.
Exactly.
Chris trains at the U.S. Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. He's a teammate of Blaine Wilson's and Jason Gadsden's.
Chris a little bit bigger, struggles on this event. You see the handstand not completely locked out. Right there, a little bit of bent elbows on the giant. Does this very nice, though.
But Tim, he's a team player. He fights.
No question about it.
And that's perhaps the biggest element of this competition, the team aspect. You know, there aren't many events like this on the calendar, and this is the way things are in a World Championships or an Olympics.
Good job.
It's good for the team to bond. It's good for the team to learn how to rely on each other.
Well, you know, he's not going to get a huge score, but he did his job. That's about as well as he can do that exercise.
Man, that front shot hurt.
Huh?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Well, it's supposed to hurt, right, if you do it all the way? Now, the Chinese have to be feeling better about where they stand. They've gotten some good scores on floor exercise, while with that start value, Chris Young is liable to see the U.S. total plummet. Now, here's the total, 8.5. That means right now, China's come all the way back. The U.S. and China are tied, and it's Romania in the lead. So there's a little early pressure being applied to Sean Townsend and the Americans.
But the next three athletes for the USA, much stronger on still rings.
Now, guys, we've mentioned that it's not the best Romanian group. It's probably the second team for the Chinese. What is this group for the United States?
Well, currently, this is just about as top a team as you can have.
Yeah, they definitely have the most experience of the three teams here.
Little bit of
bad.
a problem, though. Whenever you see an athlete do a strength part, they should remain perfectly solid, just like that cross you saw there.
Come on.
Full twisting, double somersault. Great landing, but it will not erase. You see Sean shaking his head a little bit there.
All right.
Hefty deduction there.
Good fight. Good fight. Real good fight. All right. Good job.
Sometimes you train a strength part and it's going so well, and you get to the meet and you're supposed to have more energy and be a little bit stronger. Right here, no problem on this one. It's called a Maltese. Holds it well, but he shoots right up to an inverted cross, and you see the form break, and he does not even stop there. It's a big deduction. Nice swing elements, and every one of those strength parts should, boom, just like that, stop right in that position and hold it.
Sean's score, a 9.05.
Well, I got to tell you, as an athlete, you kind of like getting a bump every once in a while, but I think Sean would agree that's a bit generous.
The United States has lost its lead.